I bought this property about 3 years ago. It was a little bit neglected. So I wanted to clean out some of the woods and also wanted to put a deer plot in. I grew up with a farming family, so I've always been used to seeing John Deere equipment. So that's the first place I went was Hutson John Deere. I walked in the door and the salesman, didn't attack me like they do sometimes in a used car lot, but he came out, asked if I needed help and introduced himself. So came in the office and he said, "What you got?" And I said, "Well, I bought this house with 17 acres. I think back then maybe 3.5 of it was being mowed. And the more we talked, he said, I think I should just come by if you don't mind and look at the property," which I was really impressed with because I didn't want to buy the wrong thing. I didn't want to buy, probably would have been too small, whatever we were talking about. So he came out and spent probably at least a half hour here walking around. In fact, we took him around in the Gator that I bought from him first. And that's when we came up with something kind of near term. I'd say right now I'm in midterm plan. And then we had a longer term to even get rid of the more trees. So I got the Gator first because I also knew I'd be doing smaller projects with the dump on the back. But even that, my salesman said, I remember him saying, "You're going to want the electric, option on the dump." And I thought, I don't know, I think I'm strong enough to do it, but I'm really glad I got it. And so we started with the Gator, and then I got a 4052 John Deere tractor that was enclosed. He said, "How are your allergies? And do you like the heat?" And I said, "I don't mind the heat, but my allergies are getting worse." So we got the full cab on it, and I do a lot of stuff with that. And we got a grapple. So basically we started cutting down trees and hauling it away with the grapple. And from that, we went to, recently I purchased an excavator. I think we got 40 or 50 hours on it in the first 3 weeks and love doing it. And I'm seeing a lot of results. And then recently I was in there and said to the salesman, "I think I need something a little smoother, a little bigger, and a little faster." So I did buy a large zero turn that I absolutely love, and it gets the job done in at least half the time, if not more, maybe 40% of the time I was taking before. So the advantage is I can just mow it more often. But I never felt like I was really being sold. I felt like I was being advised and helped selecting the best equipment. And the other nice thing about Hutson, and I'm just lucky they had everything I wanted, they had in stock locally, but they also have so many stores that it's really a big corporation with a small store feeling. Almost feels like you're walking into the old 5 and 10 store or something, just talking to the cashier. And so that's the other thing I really like. They can get anything you need. They're not going to just automatically try to sell you what they have on the lot. They're going to discuss it with you and suggest the best thing for your project.